Welcome back to Thrive Psychology. On Monday, we talked about why work-life balance feels so hard right now, from burnout culture to cognitive overload. And today I'm sharing 5 simple research-backed strategies that can help you protect your energy, restore clarity, and find more workplace harmony even when life gets busy. Let's dive into the first strategy. So if you're constantly switching between roles or feel like you never clock out, you're not alone. There is something called time boxing that is a powerful antidote to this chaos. Instead of keeping a vague to-do list, assign a specific block of time to each task or activity, even rest. So choose one focus block. So for example, 9 to 11 is where you do deep creative work, so no email, no distractions. You can add protected time in your calendar for meals, movement, and end of day shutdown rituals, which we'll talk about in a bit. So why does this work? So researcher Sue Campbell-Clark found that this builds in natural psychological borders between work and life, which reduces role strain and increases clarity. Okay, strategy number 2 is called the 3 wins method. So if you feel like you're constantly falling behind or you can't keep up, we're going to flip that. At the start of your day, write down 1 win for work, 1 win for your relationships, and 1 win for your well-being. So an example, the win for work is finish that report. A win for your relationships, call your best friend. A win for your well-being, take a walk during lunch. Why does that work? Because focusing on enough instead of everything reduces pressure and increases motivation. It also combats that all or nothing thinking, which is a common thinking trap that leads to exhaustion. We'll be doing a series on thinking traps coming up in the near future. Strategy 3, create a micro rest ritual. So your brain can only focus for about 60 to 90 minutes before productivity drops. Most of us push through for hours thinking we're just going to keep working and get it done. But a better approach is every 90 minutes, pause for a little micro rest. Even if it's just 2 to 5 minutes long, taking a rest is really important. So some ideas: during your little 2 to 5 minute micro rest, you could step outside, look at the sky, take some deep breaths, stretch, get some water, close your eyes, listen to calming music. Those sorts of things really help. Why does that work? Well, Baumeister's research shows that these short resets lower cortisol, reset your attention span, and signal to your nervous system you are safe. Helps you really feel a lot more calm. This combats the cognitive fatigue that we discussed on Monday. The fourth strategy is designing a clear work shutdown routine. So when does your workday actually end nowadays? Sometimes we're checking emails at 9 p.m., so our brain can never fully disengage. Try creating a shutdown ritual to transition out of work mode. Review what you've accomplished. Write down tomorrow's top 3 tasks that you really want to do, the ones that are most important to you. Close your laptop and say to yourself, work is done for today. Physically leave your workspace, even if you work from home. This signals closure to your brain and rebuilds boundaries. Research shows rituals, even small ones, can boost emotional regulation and reduce stress. And the last strategy is set 1 boundary each week. Boundaries don't have to be huge to matter. They just need to be consistent. So try setting 1 boundary each week. So for example, no work calls after 6 p.m. I'm not checking email this Sunday. Or I'm going to say no to 1 non-essential task this week. Then tell a friend or a coworker your plan so they can support you and help you be accountable to your own boundary. Why does this work? Well, consistent micro boundaries protect your energy and build self-trust. You'll learn that you can start to rely on yourself to create your own sense of work-life harmony. It also prevents what psychologist Christina Maslick calls emotional leakage. That's when stress spills into every part of your life. So let's quickly recap the 5 strategies. Time box your day to create clarity and borders. 3 wins to feel successful without feeling like you have to be perfect. Micro rest rituals to refuel your mind and body. Shutdown routines to protect your evening. And 1 boundary a week to build emotional resilience. You don't need to wait for a vacation to feel better, even though we all think that's true sometimes. Small, intentional shifts can bring more harmony, clarity, and even joy to your everyday life. Burnout happens when we forget we're human, but workplace harmony begins when we remember we are. If this helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, or share it with someone that might find it helpful. And let me know in the comments, what's the boundary that you're going to set for yourself this week? I'll see you next time. Until then, take good care of your mind and your energy. You got this. I'll see you soon.